This is Ken Pyle with VOD TV. We're in Ellendale, North Dakota at Dickey Rural Networks, and we're with Carrie Nishik of Dickey Rural Networks. And Carrie, you just told me something that I had never thought of, but it's very interesting. Clearly, you know, with fiber you get some provisioning benefits and some reliability benefits. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've seen on that, and then I have a couple of follow-up questions as far as, you know, your improvements in reliability and so forth.
Okay, great. We're manually provisioning everything prior to putting in ETI's Triad software. And so once we did implement Triad, we were able to auto-provision from the customer service level all the way through the O&T. So with that we were able to save resources. And instead of cutting those resources, we were able to reallocate them and use them in other areas. We created a technical assistance department which was able to troubleshoot a lot of the customer's trouble from inside our office versus dispatching a tech. So then with those technicians, we would train them up so that they could educate the customer on our products and services, teach the customer how to use our fiber network to the best of their advantages, and we would then also focus on sales, the technicians going into the home and focusing on selling to the customers.
And, you know, so I guess the really nice thing, especially in an area such as this where is very rural, you're not cutting jobs, you're keeping jobs, just changing the nature of them.
Absolutely. We have not cut any positions, and instead we are re-educating our employees and retraining them so that we can utilize them in other areas.
And from a customer perspective, it's all about education. And we heard Janelle a little bit ago talk about some of the initiatives you have in the community to educate customers.
Yes, and we're also doing that on the employee side. Our technicians, we're raising them up to a whole new level.
Well, that's terrific, and we saw some of the staging of some of the IP phones and some of the other things, the video surveillance. You're really on the cutting edge in a lot of these cases.
Definitely. We've been coming up with new, exciting products and services every year. And we've just been training those employees to learn how to sell those and educate our customers on them.
Well, and there's some things that, you know, living in a city you just wouldn't think of, you know, like automatic refills on propane tanks. I guess yes. Right now, that's, why don't you explain the process of how it's done today as far as, you know, bringing propane out?
Oh, yes. We just have the trucks around this area just go out and constantly check, you know, if they're out, and that is very time consuming and costly as far as fuel goes. And so we are looking into coming up with an automated process for them so they can know when it needs to be filled through an auto filling process.
And key to that is having a reliable network that you can send data back and forth on.
Exactly. It's our fiber network that would make that possible.
And I think some of these grassroots applications, the only way you're going to find those is by having people in the field talking to real people.
When we get our technicians out there in the homes, in the businesses, and finding out what the customers' needs are, that's when we can come up with these ideas.
Well, Carrie, I really appreciate your time today.
Great. Thanks so much.